Hi there, Karen and Chance from EdibleWildFood.com here, and today's video is a little bit different. I'm not going to be showing you what you can do with certain wild foods, but what I am going to show you is the difference between some of the clovers that are out there. And if you enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, if you can consider subscribing. And to all my subscribers out there, I thank you so very much. Come on, Chance, let's go show everybody the clovers. Trifolium hybridum, commonly referred to as Elsiki clover. As you can see, it has a beautiful flower head comprised of both pink and white flowers, and a multitude of flowers are fused together to create one flower head. Very interestingly, you can see that each individual flower sharply points upward, except lower down where it meets the stem. They tend to point downward. There we go. One flower head will grow from one leaf axil. These flowers measure anywhere from usually from 1 to 2 centimeters upward to 1 to 2 centimeters, which is roughly 3/4 of an inch. And they have that two-tone color pattern. And the older the flower gets, the more pronounced the pink becomes. The leaves have a definite clover shape, of course, those 3 leaves. And as you can tell, let's see if I can put on the dark right there. Let me just see, sorry about that. You can see, there we go, right there, where the green meets the darkness there, you can see that the leaf margins are slightly serrated. The Elsiki clover will never have that chevron marking, and the overall plant can grow anywhere from 30 to 60 centimeters, which is roughly 10 to 20 inches tall. This is the flower head of Trifolium repens, the white clover. It's native to Europe and Asia, but it grows everywhere here in North America. You can see that the flower shape is round, and these are about 2 centimeters wide, which is around 3/4 of an inch. Each flower has anywhere from 20 to 40 individual flowers, and those are really tiny, anywhere from 6 to 13 millimeters, which is roughly maybe 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, but more so on the smaller side, that's for sure. Now, as the season progresses, they turn brown, as you can see right there. The leaves are actually quite interesting. Yes, they are the typical clover leaf, but as you can see here, the one on the right has the chevron marking and the one on the left does not. Those leaves can measure anywhere from 2 to 2.5 centimeters long, or 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And the entire plant, actually, let me zoom out here. It can grow anywhere from 4 to 12 inches tall, which is 10 to 30 centimeters. And that's how you tell the difference actually between this and let me just grab the red one here. You can tell that they're different in structure. And all aerial parts of the white clover are edible, including the seeds. But like all clovers, you need to be very mindful that they do cause gas, and eating in very small quantities first is highly recommended. And there you are, that is Trifolium repens. And these are a hop clover, but which one specifically, I don't know. There's the large hop clover, which is Trifolium campestre, And there is the small or the least hop clover, which is known as Trifolium dubium. Which one is which is really hard to figure out because different websites will put them pretty much in the same range in terms of height. Technically, the large hop clover is supposed to be taller, of course, up to 18 inches high. And the lower one is supposed to be technically anywhere from 10 inches and shorter, but both species can be in that range depending on the soil conditions, the weather conditions, and whatever else might be affecting their growth cycle. Anyways, they do have the leaflets. There we go. The 3 clover leaf formation. And these leaves are very tiny. This was actually a younger plant, so typically each leaflet will grow anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 to 3/4 inches depending on its location. The peduncles, which is the stem that connects the flower to the stem. Let me see if I can focus there. That's a little bit. Now, on the hop clovers, the peduncles often exceed the extending or the subtending leaves. So you have the leaves here, and the peduncle is protruding upward. There is also a plant called black medic. How do you tell the difference between the two of them? I'll answer that one right now. It's so difficult. If the plant has gone to seed, it's very easy actually, because once it's gone to seed, the hop clover flower heads turn into brown seeds and the black medic turns into black seeds. So apparently one of the main differences as well is that black medic, let me see if I can, there we go. Black medic supposedly does not have leaf petioles that are anything more than perhaps a couple of millimeters, and this one does not have a leaf petiole. But yet you look at a plant that I found in the same area, and you can see that those leaves have a petiole. So how do you tell the difference? I would wait until it goes to seed. I think that's the easiest. The black medic is actually Medicago lupina, or lupulina, sorry about that. And that's in the same family as alfalfa. Alfalfa is Medicago sativa. And this is as close in as I can get on the flower. It's not round, so it almost has a black medic look to it. Now, the good news between the black medic and the low hop clovers is that they're both edible, but consume in moderation, and especially if you have lupus or a compromised immune system, do not consume these at all. And always check with your doctor if you're on anticoagulants, anti-diabetes, hormone-related medications, or photosynthesizing drugs. There is also some herbal supplement interaction, so be sure to do a check on that. And for a more extensive, a really good website that shows the difference actually between many of the different clovers is Cape May Wildlife in New Jersey, and I'll put a link to that below. Red clover, Trifolium pratense. This is very common, just as much as the white clover. And this has traditionally been used as medicine in a multitude of ways. I'm not going to get into that today. As you can see, the flower head has that pinkish, sometimes it actually almost seems reddish, depending on the soil conditions, tinge. Like all clovers, it has that one flower head, and it is comprised of many different tubular-shaped flowers. These flowers do tend to get a little bit bigger than the other clovers, 2 to 3 centimeters across, so that's about 1 inch, 1 to 1.5 inches. And the leaves, as you can see back here, definitely have that chevron marking. Some people refer to this as just the watermark or a watermark. The leaves are much larger than those of the other clovers. And of course you can find these, like other clovers, in fields, pastures, vacant lots, disturbed areas, grassy areas. You can pretty much find them anywhere. Yes, these are edible. They're also used to make teas. And as I mentioned, they have quite a numerous, they just have a plethora of medicinal values. Let's take a look at the stem. There we go. And as I mentioned, this can get quite tall. And now, let's do the comparison lineup. Here are all four that I've just spoken about. You can tell by far that red clover flower is the largest. The white and the Alsiki are very close in size, and of course the smallest being the low hop clover. But this is definitely a nice way to learn when they're all side by side. And before I finish this video, I'm going to toss in a little extra something that some people get very confused about. This plant, perhaps not so much the plant, but its name, confuses many people right in the beginning of learning how to forage, because it's sweet white clover. Melillotus albus, that is the Latin name. And it also has another plant that looks pretty much identical, except that the flowers are yellow. And that one is called Melillotus officinalis. Despite the name having clover in it, this is not in the clover family. The clover family is trifolium, meaning three-leaved. And even though this is Melillotus, to add to the confusion, there are three leaves. Let's see. You can see right there. Well, there we go. Right there, you can actually see that there are three leaves. However, this technically is not in the clover family, but it definitely was worth mentioning. Be sure to check out my website, and the link to this specific page I'll put in the description below. You'll discover more detailed information on the identification of the clovers I spoke about in this video, as well as a couple of others that I didn't speak about, the crimson and the tomcat clover. While you're there, just scroll down. You'll see some recipes that you may want to try out. And of course, if it's before the end of August 2023, you can take advantage of my summer sale. Chance and I want to thank you for watching from the bottom of our hearts. He has a big bowl of water waiting for him, and he needs it right now. It's pretty darn hot out here. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for your support. And until next time, happy foraging!